But Father, on March the 1st, our lives changed drastically. And today there's a part of us that says goodbye to what stands here today, but we look forward with anticipation to what will take its place. But there's no window, perhaps, that shined with any greater clarity than the window, the stained glass window that was in the chapel of this hospital on March the 2nd. David Seagraves refers to it in the video, and by the way, I hope that you are continuing to vote for win an MRI. If you've got your little hospital or your little refrigerator sticker today, continue to vote through December the 31st, and let's get that free MRI machine here in Americus. David refers to the fact that the Bible on the altar was undisturbed. The candles were undisturbed. The stained glass was intact. Perhaps there's a little something about the indestructibility of God's Word. I don't suppose that there's any place in the city of Americus where more prayers, now think about this for just a second, where more prayers have been offered up for people, and I know that there are churches all over, and my church is a praying church, but you think about the amount and the time and the effort as we look at this building. We're reminded of the amount of prayers that have gone up from here on behalf of folks that have needed it. And some of us have been in that situation. This hospital has been committed to health, healing, and wholeness. But it's time to say goodbye to it.
Throughout our lives, we develop emotional bonds to not only each other, but also to special events and special places. And I think that's exactly the situation here. We see this grand old lady behind us, and we grieve for her as if she were our family member or a dear friend. Over the course of the last few months, I've had conversation and occasion to sit down with so many people that have been devastated by this tragedy, and more often than not, the conversation starts by them looking at me and saying, I feel like I've lost a part of my life. And that's been our reality for many, many months now. But almost like clockwork, every time, those healing words of, I remember, begin to emerge. And that short conversation has generally turned into long conversations of I remember stories. Those special stories that are precious to each and every one of us. Most of you are here today for that very reason. You brought with you your own I remember story. It may be an I remember story of what, or I remember story of when or where, or most especially, I remember who. And that's why you're here, and that's why we're having that his dedication ceremony. I encourage each and every one of you to continue to share with each other those I remember stories, for it is inherent to our culture to tell stories, and that's what keeps the memories alive. Often children look to those older and wiser and say, tell me about your life, tell me your story. And I think about the lady who stands behind us, and I think if she were asked, what's your story? I think it would go something like this. I have opened my doors to the sick and afraid. I gave hope to those who through fear and uncertainty could not find it themselves. I have opened my doors and welcomed new life and comforted those bringing their final chapter to a close. I have opened my doors to many a young whippersnapper eager to master the healing trade. I've stood beside them and shared in moments of humility, but also glorious achievements. Yet in my finest hour, I wrapped my arms around those entrusted in my care, and I kept them safe. And now in my final chapter, I challenge you and entrust you with the gift for a new tomorrow. For all her gifts and precious memories, we honor her, and will be forever grateful. David, I think it's time to talk about tomorrow.
We will emerge from this trial with a new, state-of-the-art community hospital that we otherwise might not have been able to build for decades to come, if ever. It will be tailored to meet the needs of our community, equipped with leading-edge medical technology and designed and built to accommodate future growth. Today we begin demolishing the old hospital. In 2010, we will return to this very site for a ribbon-cutting ceremony for the new Sumter Regional. I hope all of you will be here with us at that event as well.
But I just want to say on a personal note that the day after the tornado happened, I was here and I saw the destruction firsthand. But what impressed me about this community is that never give up attitude. And out of despair of that day is the hope that this hospital will experience in 2010. And I think I can speak on behalf of Congressman Bishop, Senators Chambers and Iverson, that we will all be with you every step of the way. And God bless you all.